everyone, my name is Dan Boul. I'm president of 65 Amps out of Los Angeles, California. I'm here today at Sweetwater, and I'm very honored to show you the first amp we ever made at 65. It's called the 65 London. The 65 London is based on a pair of EL84s, and it combines two classic British style preamps into one amp. We have two basic channels on this amp. One is called the color channel, which I'm plugged into right now. The color channel is based on an EF86 tube, which is a very sensitive, lush, mid-rangey, sweet tube that was used by British amp makers in the early 60s and late 50s. The other channel is called the Tremolo channel, and it has a 12AX7 and a tube Based Tremolo. And then there's a global cut knob like all the good British combos had in the 60s. The goal with this amp was to have two discrete preamps with a little different voicing so you can get some flavors of EL84. Let me start you out over on our color channel, which has that EF86 tube, which is so fun and has such a nice, glorious distortion. We'll start down at a lower gain setting. So very good 60s British. You push it a little harder, the F86 really changes nicely. So you can see a nice little dynamic range on that tube. Also on the color channel, you'll notice there's a color switch, and what that is basically a mid-range shifter that's very subtle, but it's going to help you notch your guitar into the mix very nicely. And there's just a basic tone knob. The boost that I was hitting there is controlled by a foot switch. So next we're going to look at the 12AX7 Based Tremolo channel on the London. This is a traditional British rock voice. I've got the volume about halfway up now, so I'm going to get a little bit of distortion out of it, and then I'm going to show you the tube biased tremolo, which has a very fun organic sound. So just for basic rock and roll. So you can hear how the distortion's a little different sounding than the EF86. It's a little more focused in the mid-range, has a little more obnoxious clang to it that we look for in a British amp. But what's the most fun about this channel is this is a tube biased tremolo. So it's not neat and tidy, but it does have a really fun organic sound. So you can hear the nice old school tremolo sound. So this was the first amp we ever made, and this amp was specifically designed for touring artists before we started selling at retail. And it's still available today. It's still one of our great sellers. And if you have any more questions, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. Once again, my name is Dan Boul. I'm president of 65 Amps, and I look forward to seeing you soon.